We're not going downstate to celebrate. We're going downstate to take care of business. We're going downstate to finish some business that we didn't take care of last year. We're going downstate to bring the great big trophy home.
Well, like King, the Trojans of Bloom High School in Chicago Heights are heading downstate for the second year in a row, but they know that they'll be a big underdog if they have to play the King Jaguars. They'll be ready.
Anything really can happen, but I think they could have seeded King High School maybe in the 64 NCAA tournament roster.
Well, no pep rally, but lots of spirit at Gordon Tech today as the team boarded the buses for Assembly Hall. This is the second trip ever for the Northside Catholic School, and as I found out, sticking a microphone in the bus, that hopes are very high.
You guys going all the way, I'm sure, right?
Yeah!
Now, people tell me that King is pretty good, but...
They had Twinkies on that bus, and over at Rolling Meadows, this is the first appearance ever for that school, and boy, are they psyched.
I'm sure it's the ultimate so far for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I mean, our whole school is really into it, and the whole community, so that makes it fun.
I guarantee you, nobody fell asleep at the wheel as they were driving to Champaign today. It's going to be great down there. Well, basketball is to the point.
We're going downstate to take care of business. We're going downstate to finish some business that we didn't take care of last year. We're going downstate to bring the great big trophy home.
Now let's go to Rolling Meadows High School. The cheerleaders are mighty happy as the Mustangs will be making their first trip ever to the state quarterfinals. They drew a tough assignment. Rolling Meadows will have to go against Gordon Tech High School in the quarterfinals tomorrow.
Call it the Big Hall, and we're live from the Assembly Hall in Champaign, Urbana, with America's best high school basketball tournament, the 1990 Boys Class AA State Championships of Illinois. Good evening, everybody. I'm Frank Bassoni, and welcome back to our tournament. Earlier today, Lincoln and King advanced to the Final Four, and tonight will feature some of the nation's high school shooting stars, and a historic coach hopes for a title in his final year. Now here are our matchups. In our first game, the high-scoring Rams of Chicago Gordon Tech 28-1 shoot it out with the Mustangs of Rolling Meadows 28-2. And then the Trojans of Chicago Heights Bloom 21-8 will try to gun down the Quincy Blue Devils 25-5 as March Madness continues next.
Look what's come to Kleinschmidt with 34. We're going to come back with the starting lineups, but first, let us pause for these messages.
Sports Channel's coverage of the IHSA.
Chicago De La Salle early in the season only by 3 points, and now they have reeled off 25 wins in a row, and a big part of that, Coach Mel Rustio, a kid named Tom Kleinschmidt. He's only a junior, but he puts up a lot of shots, and a lot of them fall.
Well, there's only one way to build this game, Jim. It's certainly a shootout between Kleinschmidt with Gordon Tech and Lipnisky with Rolling Meadows. Both youngsters averaging well into the 30s for the season. They've led the respective ball clubs to this point in time.
Let's take a look at where some of these teams come from in the Final Eight as far as Rolling Meadows. As you might guess, from that city in Illinois, the purple, white, and gold from the mid-suburban South Conference. As for the Rams of Gordon Tech, they hail from Cook County in Chicago. The Chicago Catholic League, always a tough league. And, Coach, they played an awful tough sectional, beating Proviso West and then Westchester St. Joe's just to get to the super sectional. So they definitely earned their Elite Eight
no
wins.
Doubt. One of the toughest sectionals and super sectionals in the state of Illinois, and they've earned it to be here.
Let's take a look at the matchups now. As far as the numbers are concerned, field goal wise, both teams shoot very, very well. The free throws a bit deceptive there. Both teams not shooting very well from the free throw line, although I should say Rolling Meadows is 75%, not bad at all. 66 for Gordon Tech. Rebounding, Gordon Tech has that edge by 6. it's a hard game to figure out because Gordon Tech comes in here scoring about 83 points a ball game. Rolling Meadows about 73 points a ball game. So from that, we can tell they both like to get it up and down the floor.
Right, and they've each had a common opponent or two. I know they played Proviso East, I believe, with a split there. They've had a common opponent in Chicago Weber, where both Lipnisky and Kleinschmidt had stellar ball games in those performances.
Well, we're just about ready to go with Game 3 of the quarterfinals. Now this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers.
Preps Plus, big league coverage of your community.
As you can see, this AA showdown loaded with Chicago talent. 6 teams from the Chicago area. That is a first as far as the Class AA tournament is concerned here at Assembly Hall. Let's run down those starting lineups for you. Jason Lee and Steve Thompson will be at the forwards, 6'3" and 6'1" respectively. Then it is Zoran Nikolic, the center for Rolling Meadows. Mike Lipnisky, the man we talked about, averaging 30 points a ball game, and also Brian McIntyre at the guard. For Gordon Tech, you've got Mr. Kleinschmidt at forward, but he plays all over. Antoine Gillespie averaging 16 points a game. He's a good one. Keith Starr at the center, and the guards are Jason Bay and Brian Allen, and both teams set to hit the center court here, and it'll be very interesting to see from a mental standpoint how Rolling Meadows reacts early, because this is their first ever visit to the big show.
Yes, it is, and interestingly enough, when you look at them on the floor, without question, Gordon Tech appears to be the more physical ball club when you compare the two.
And Gordon Tech also has a height advantage somewhat. Kleinschmidt at 6'5", Starr at 6'5", Gillespie at 6'4". Our officials for tonight, John Hornacek and John L. Hodel. A storybook coaching story for Rolling Meadows. Dave Brown, it's his first year.
Dave Brown had the highs and lows, happened to him this year.
Jumping center will be P. Starr and Mr. Lipnisky, and the ball is controlled by who? Who wants it? Rolling Meadows says, well, we'll take it. So the Mustangs come into the front court. The winner of this one will play either Quincy or Chicago Heights Bloom. That game to follow right here on the IHSA network. Frank Bissoni will call it for you. They try to get it inside. It's kicked right back out. Steve Thompson with the ball.
Gordon Tech immediately in a man-to-man defense with a lot of pressure.
Lipnisky right away drives. We've got a foul before he can get the shot off. Again, for you folks at home, that's Lipnisky, number 32. We'll get these numbers to you so you can fashion the names in your memory bank. Number 21, Brian McIntyre, is the guard out front. He likes to do the feeding. There you see a good shot of Brian. Lipnisky's a 56% shooter from the field, and that includes 50 of 90 from the three-point mark. Patience so far, trying to figure out this defense, I think, and a bad pass and a foul, and it will go against Gordon Tech.
Gordon Tech puts on some pretty good pressure when you consider they are a physical ball club, and I think we noticed something when they were warming up, Jim. I think there's some deception. They're quicker than they might appear, especially the big kid, Kleinschmidt.
Jason Bay picked up that personal. Lee with the basketball, trying to get away from a double team. Nikolic is high post, but they can't get the ball into him, and around the horn they go to this man, Lipnisky. What a move. Count it. Or no, count it. Got it. Now they call it charge.
Good defense. Good help side defense by Gordon Tech. You notice here Lipnisky beats his man, but he gets good help from the weak side.
He beat Brian Allen, but Tom Kleinschmidt was right there to help out.
The kid that has all the publicity of scoring plays good defense also.
And when you watch Kleinschmidt shoot, you won't see what looks like that pure shooter, but he gets it done. This shot is not there by Starr, but the rebound by Allen. and kicked out of bounds still belongs to the Rams from Gordon Tech. When you've won 25 in a row like that man has, Coach Steve Pappas, you got to feel like everything's rolling your way.
There's Coach Dave Brown, and he's had the highs and lows this year with his sister passing away, Sharon Anderson, who worked in Peoria, a wonderful person. And he's reached the highs of bringing the team here in his first varsity year, so he's had a lot of inspiration from his sister in her life.
There you saw a steal by Lipnisky, who took it all the way down, and then he was fouled by number 14, Jason Bay, who will exit in a hurry. And coming in is Jareem Anderson, a 6'3", 190 junior. Lipnisky trying to move a little one-on-one, working on Brian Allen. Gets it into Nikolic, but Allen takes it away. Well, long baseball pass and a bad one. Stolen there by Thompson, who comes all the way down. Thompson off the glass, and there's the first two of the night. It took a while, but they got it done, and now the baseball pass the other way to Kleinsmith, who will wait for company.
Certainly Gordon Tech demonstrates they're willing to get up the floor with the baseball pass.
Jumper Star. Game is not tied as it comes in and out. Rebound down to Jason Lee.
One thing you notice, Jim, is that even though that Gordon Tech is a bigger ball club, their bigger people are oftentimes on the perimeter offensively, so maybe Rolling Meadows can stay on the boards with them.
Lipnisky looks like he senses something open, but it closes, and now out front it goes. Lee doesn't want the shot. McIntyre from about 20. Kleinschmidt with that good court sense tried to get the bounce pass down to Brian Allen, but a foot by Brian McIntyre threw the monkey wrench in that idea.
Gordon Tech really looks to push the ball. If they can't throw it up the floor, they're going to push it with the dribble. They want the up tempo.
Well, I'm sure Steve Pappas will be real glad to get something on the board here. Jumper out front is not there as Antoine Gillespie joins the rest of his shooting mates on zeros. Lee couldn't get it.
Good block by Kleinschmidt.
I was a little blocked out there. I couldn't tell if he lost it or if Kleinschmidt blocked it. Now Kleinschmidt causes the foul.
It's a big call.
Yeah,
2 fouls on Lipnisky.
Very big call. Lipnisky, as you heard Frank say, here's that replay. Yes, straight up, got it nicely.
Good block by Kleinschmidt, and then the foul reaching by Lipnisky. Both ball clubs, I think, are pressing just a little bit the first time on the assembly floor here.
Anderson wears number 32 for Gordon Tech. Allen makes a nice baseline move, gets it inside to Gillespie, and we've got a tie ball game at 2.
50 assists by Allen.
Remember, Lipnisky has got the shooter's mentality. He's made 2 shots, even though one was after a whistle and one was on a charge and wiped out, but he knows that he's knocked in 2 of 2.
Allen has the defensive assignment of trying to stop Lipnisky. He's had some great games. 54 points in one game against Weber, 48 in another. That in the regional game against St. Viator, and he's also had 44 points against Conant. So he can make that scoreboard look like a pinball machine. Look at that move.
Nice move. Penetrates well. Great body control with the ball.
And a great first step. Anderson will pass it around to Kleinschmidt. He's got the 3.
The big kid has just a little bit of a wrinkle in his shot as he goes up, but he unloads it quickly.
McIntyre working against Anderson. We played 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter final game from Assembly Hall.
Gordon Tech works extremely hard in their man-to-man defense.
Lipnisky called for traveling, and he can't believe it. There you see Steve Pappas in his 5th year at Gordon Tech, 106 wins, 35 losses, and there the aforementioned Mr. Brown, Dave Brown, in his first year. So what'd you do? What'd you do in your first year, Coach? Well, we won 28.
Went to the state tournament.
Turnover-wise, just about even. Kleinschmidt with a fadeaway, a little bit too much iron. Ball is fought for, gotten back by Anderson, but he couldn't get it to fall. You can tell Lipnisky has played a lot of basketball. It doesn't look like God waved a wand over his head. Long jumper is not there by Thompson. And a baseball pass quickly down to Gillespie. Gillespie stops, kisses the glass.
Now you know why they average so many points. They look to get it out. They look to throw deep almost immediately. And they've done that 3 times now. One was intercepted, but there's the easy transition basket.
Gillespie came in averaging 16. His coach considers him a Division I product. Speaking of such,
2 picks for Lipnisky there, and the second pick freed him up for the basket. Nice job offensively.
baseline free is Allen. Will he get it up? He'll get it up, but he won't get it to fall, but he will go to the free throw line. And you mentioned double picks, and that'll happen at the other end, too.
Did a nice job.
To quote Mr. Kleinschmidt, who said, upon responding to "You're a one-man team," he said, "No way. What do I do without the picks? What do I do without the defense? I'm not a one-man team." Although when you average as many points as he does, and he comes through in the big games, that's the mark of a great player.
That's when youngsters realize and understand what team concept is. You go to your strength, and when you have a youngster like a Kleinschmidt or a Lipnisky, you set those picks for them, and that's why they're here at the Assembly Hall on this championship weekend.
Allen, about a 60% free throw shooter on the year, gets that one to fall. The guards for Gordon Tech won't take a lot of three-point shots. As a matter of fact, between them, Bay and Allen only have 34 three-point attempts the entire year, which is about what Elgin takes per game. That one won't go all the way down. McIntyre post up, won't get it to fall. Tipped around, grabbed finally by Lee, who will set it up to his mate Thompson. They're going to look for Lipnisky, but that ball's knocked away nicely by Allen to right back, and here's Nikolic, and that's goaltending.
No question about that. The youngster got into the net and touched the rim as the ball was above the cylinder, and you count it.
That's Bernard Hobson, who had just checked into the ball game, as you see him striding down the floor. Zoran Nikolic definitely got up there, and it was on its way down. And well, you can't go through the net anyway.
No, you can't.
It's a little too obvious. It's like walking into a police station with an unregistered gun. You don't really need that kind of trouble. Kleinschmidt way outside.
Kleinschmidt shows that great ability out there. We also know that he can't drive with the ball out against the 2-3 zone there that Rolling Meadows is in.
Lipnisky, good body control. It will fall. Do you think he's taken about 3, 4, 5 million shots in his lifetime to get that kind of roll?
That shooter's roll.
Long jumper Allen. We're not that heated up yet, but Kleinschmidt's there to put it back in.
Big kid can muscle inside. We knew that.
These two guys, Lipnisky and Kleinschmidt, are as good as their clippings.
Robo players. They just are all put together, aren't they? Lipnisky. I mean that from a performance standpoint, not a human one. The ball knocked out of bounds. It will still belong to Rolling Meadows, the Mustangs from mid-suburban South. An enrollment of 1,816 students as compared to Gordon Tech, which is like a small city, 3,892 students. We got a timeout on the floor. We got a tight one. Here's one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware. Spot on the floor is Mr. Kleinschmidt's favorite spot, and he can also go to the glass when need be, like he did the last trip down.
Well, here he comes into the middle of the lane, catches and powers the ball up and in. He truly is an inside and outside threat, and as we noticed when he was warming up, I think he's deceptively quick.
Field goal-wise, we are definitely warming up here at the Assembly Hall. 56% for Rolling Meadows and 45% for the Rams. Three-point-wise, Gordon Tech has the edge on that one. Inbounding to Lipnisky, who is going to Northern Illinois University next year. Long jumper by Thompson, won't find it. And the rebound comes down nicely to Anderson, who baseball passes it to Kleinschmidt, who forgot something, went back, got it, and hit it. Oh, I thought he hit it. It came out of there.
So great body control with a loose ball on the floor, caught it, squared himself up, almost knocked it down.
Oh, nice pass inside to Lipnisky, who doesn't get the roll. But Nikolic is there. He gets it blocked. Nikolic trying to go back up again, and he is fouled. Let's see who will pick it up. It'll probably be Art Stewart, number 24.
Tell you what,
unless somebody else got a hand in there. Yeah, it is somebody else. Mr. Kleinschmidt, did it go?
Yeah, they did. Reaching in. Nicolette, he can get up. He plays a little bit bigger than he appears.
Tony McGowan checks in now, and Antoine Gillespie heads out. As you can tell, Steve Pappas has a bench, and he uses it. 13-10 our score, Gordon Tech. But Lipnisky's going to make it 13-12.
Just an easy backdoor move with the overplay man-to-man pressure that Gordon Tech puts on. You got to look that backdoor.
Down low they go to Hobson. A little hook shot won't fall. And Lipnisky brings it out of there. Look at this dribbling action. He's gone through 3 people so far. Gets it over to Thompson, who won't get it to fall. Kleinschmidt is fouled as he goes out of there by Jason Lee.
Kleinschmidt, very strong youngster, was rebounding there and looking to outlet right now before he was fouled.
Well, he weighs up around 200. They list him as 195, but I think that's before dinner.
He's a big 195, Frank.
Well, I think they weigh him and measure him before the season starts.
Knocked out of bounds.
Remember, he's only 16 years old or 17. You know, they grow quick.
Just a puppy yet.
The 5 out there right now, Art Stewart for Gordon Tech, along with Kleinschmidt. With the basketball, it is Anderson. Tony McGowan wears number 52. Bernard Hobson, who has the ball, 54. Too light. Almost too easy on the shot. Rebound underneath Kleinschmidt. You know where it's going.
Just sheer strength inside. Kleinschmidt's tough in there.
Yeah, he's tough already. He's got 10 already. Nice drive to the hoop. Won't fall for Thompson. And we've got a whistle to stop the action. And Rolling Meadows really wanted to come away with a hoop on that one. They made the nice transition after the basket, but just couldn't get it to fall.
Both ball clubs.
Nice pass out front by Lipnisky.
I'll tell you what, Lipnisky is going to make Northern Illinois University one fine guard for the next 4 years.
Tony McGowan caused that miss, getting up there and bothering Thompson just a little bit. And already in the bonus are the Rams of Gordon Tech. 35 seconds remain here in the first quarter. Tech with a 3-point lead, and Kleinschmidt, who hits 3 of every 4 he shoots from the free throw line, misses this one. Lipnisky's putting the moves on Allen, but Allen, he's got to keep that eye on the belly button, no matter who the player is. Keep the eye on the midrib. Thompson wants baseline, floats and hits an air ball. The rebound comes down to Bernard Hobson. 10 seconds, plenty of time. Art Stewart brings it up. Check that, that was Anderson. This is Stewart. They better go. They don't know how much time's left, and the ball's taken away. And that's the way the first quarter comes to a close. 15-12 our score. We've got a good one now. 12.
Before Dodge, Jeep, Eagle, and Buick, there's a Gleason dealership.
Schmidt has 10 of Gordon Tech's 15. Mr. Lipnisky has 8 of Rolling Meadows' 12.
Both youngsters proven what everyone said. They can put the ball in the basket. Lipnisky is really impressed us with his ability to pass as well as shoot. And the strength of Kleinschmidt is awesome out there.
Brian Allen and Jason Bay back in the ball game for Coach Steve Pappas, the 2 guards, and they go right inside to Hobson. It won't get it to fall. Strong rebound by the little guy, McIntyre, standing at 5'11". What am I saying, little? That's what I am.
You never rebounded like that.
McIntyre from 17. That's going to be way short. Lipnisky saw it, got it up there, but it was blocked by Hobson. And Allen will wait. They both do want to run, don't they? Kleinschmidt going through 3 people, hangs and doesn't hit it. Rebound comes down to Jason Lee. He had the right idea. How do you stop it? He's deceptively quick. Nice pass to McIntyre. I didn't think it was going to get there in time, but it did.
Both ball clubs really good in their up-tempo game. Mustangs kind of matching up out of a 1-3-1 here.
Alley-oop to Allen, and he kicks it back out to Bay. And Bay will look for the big guy, but get it knocked out in front of Kleinschmidt. That was a set play. It just didn't work. McGowan, jump shot, rolls off. Lipnisky with a rebound. And a whistle, and they lost it out of bounds. Somehow,
you know, fellas, something you have to notice about Lipnisky, another thing, he has a level head. He's had some very frustrating, questionable calls, difficulties, things have gone against him, and he stays within himself. He keeps his emotions inside. That's a very impressive attribute.
Number 13 checking in for Rolling Meadows was Pat Duddle. He was in on that mishandle there along the baseline. Kleinschmidt makes a nice, tough pass down underneath, and McGowan says thank you.
And a strong pass. Thread the needle.
Kappa said that his team would have been better last year if the players and the seniors would have had more confidence in then sophomore Kleinschmidt. They would have won even more games because he got to be an excellent player already as a sophomore on the varsity level.
And that happens oftentimes with the youngsters. They have to kind of a pecking order they have to get through to get that confidence of the older players.
Antoine Gillespie in for Gordon Tech. Bernard Hopstein had a great super sectional game. Shot not there for Gordon Tech, and will come the other way. And a foul by McIntyre. McIntyre thought possibly Jason Bay used an arm on him, but the official did not see it that way.
Call again, 21, Brian McIntyre, that's his first.
Are you surprised by the up-tempo of both ball clubs?
I like it. I mean, I think just looking at their stats, and we don't get a chance to see all these teams, you had to assume that that's pretty much what they did. And then when you saw that Kleinschmidt was not just a post player, and everybody knows he can play from everywhere, you thought maybe they were able to go mobile.
I think that's the biggest thing that surprised me is the perimeter play of Kleinschmidt. Very seldom has he really truly posted up.
They average 84 points a game. Ringing them up pretty good.
I bet if you put a small guy on him, he would. Like right now. 5-point lead for Gordon Tech. Their biggest of the game. Lipnisky faked the pass, then got it along the baseline. And Duddle lost it, but it still belongs to.
Lipnisky really delivers his pass quickly off of the dribble.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Oh, Lipnisky's got an open lane, but good defense that time, but he got it back and put it in. Good defense by McGowan, who spotted the opening across the lane, went out to help out. He made him change his shot, but good players stay with it.
Mustangs are in their 1-3-1, trying to match up with the perimeter people on Gordon Tech's club.
Kleinschmidt, who has 10, the same amount that Lipnisky has. Bay is fouled by Duddle, I believe, number 13.
Many coaches believe that out of a 1-3-1 defense, if you're going to play the zone, it gives you a little bit better rebound strength, a little better board strength, and the Mustangs have held their own pretty well in the early going of this game on the boards.
Little Pat Duddle, kind of a spot player for Dave Brown. He's been in 27 ball games, but has only taken 71 shots, but made good on 30 of those. And speaking of good, Jason Bay, who isn't a great free throw shooter on the year, hitting only 52%, but we discussed that this afternoon, Coach. That was yesterday, and this is now, right?
What counts is right now.
Although that's 50% of what it is. 5:50 remaining here. Duddle is free on the left wing, but Lipnisky takes it home. Stop and go, and hit him where it hurts. 2018, Tech by 2 with the ball.
Nice, smooth stutter step, not a jerky one, just a smooth one, kicked in another gear.
Long jumper out front by McGowan won't be there. Lipnisky and his mates can go down and tie it with a standard 2.
It'd be very important for Rolling Meadows not to get Lipnisky's foul number 3.
Look at that pass. Lipnisky, that's the second shot that he's taken. It's kissed just about every part of the iron. It's like the ball is trying to get familiar with it.
Exactly. Second shot that had that shooter's roll. 14.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a good one. And speaking of good, don't go away, because you want to see Brandon Cole for Chicago Heights Bloom, and you want to see another Jerry Leggett coach team, his last Quincy team after a 14-year career, and I'll be darned if he didn't end up down here. He's finished first, second, third, and fourth, and now he wants to go home with some more hardware. We'll see how that transpires. Kleinschmidt from way out, not this time. Allen, good rebound. Nice dish into Gillespie, and we'll go to the free throw line. I think McIntyre picked up the foul, and if that's true, that would be 2 on him.
I think Kleinschmidt may have been forcing a little bit. That's probably a stride beyond his normal range.
We'll talk a little bit about the coaches. We just saw a shot of Dave Brown there in a little strain. You know, I don't think people realize how hard it is, not just to coach a game here, but to bring your team down to keep track of them, to make all the arrangements, to try to get practice in Kleinsmith. It's a very, very busy week coming to Super Section.
It is indeed. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of things off the court that they have to pay attention to.
Lipnisky, nice dish underneath Nikolic. I think he walked with a basketball. He did. Good call.
Good call. But Lipnisky again is starting to draw a lot of attention from the Gordon Tech defenders, and as a result, he's starting to look for his teammates and making those nice passes.
No emotion when something goes against him.
Steady as they come.
Kleinschmidt, alley-oop pass to Gillespie, and a tough one to handle. Touch last by Rolling Meadows. You know, you see a guy with a 30-point average like Lipnisky, and you go, well, yeah, he's a shooter. And he puts it up, and then you watch him play, and you go, oh, my God, he can pass, too.
He does other things.
Pass nice underneath, but Allen shot it a little bit too hard, and we're coming the other way with a chance for Rolling Meadows to tie it up.
Rolling Meadows doing a nice job in their 1-3-1 zone defense. They're putting pressure on Kleinschmidt out, but they're letting others shoot the ball out there, and they are doing a good job on their defensive board.
Full court pressure bothered the Mustangs for a bit, but they worked their way out of it. The Mustangs averaging 73 points a ball game on the year.
Gordon Tech man-to-man all the way.
Lipnisky gets it taken away by Allen. Oh, he's not going to like that foul because you got a lot of ball, but when you reach in, you're taking your foul life in your own hands.
That's why the coaches are always pleading, move your feet.
Brian Allen will check out. Now let's see. Yeah, whoa. That's a tough call to make, and believe me, I wouldn't want to be an official, but I think Mr. Allen thought he had all basketball.
As active as he's been, as he has been the free throw line.
He's as good as anybody at that job. He's at 88%. Of course, everybody knows about his streaks.
71 in a row this year.
Missed one and made 22 more.
Oh, it's so nice to find consistency in this world, isn't it? Kleinschmidt, he's going to take it in, dish it off. Gillespie will score.
The big boy showed some passing ability off the penetration.
Oh, we've got a good one shaping up here. 24-21, Gordon Tech. As Rolling Meadows works it up, Pat Duddle. Lipnisky couldn't find an opening that time. Nice pass underneath, but Nikolic's having a hard time. Last time down he was open for the shot, shuffled the feet. This time, grabbed before it was there.
I don't think he was just really ready for that pass. It was a nice pass, and he was wide open inside.
And again, just another junior for Rolling Meadows.
Rolling Meadows extended their 1-3-1 in a trap and got an interception here.
Duddle's going to slow it up. Now he's going to penetrate. He's going to shoot. He's going to score.
He felt it from the interception.
Long baseball pass the other way. Almost got away. And now it's loose, and Kleinschmidt will pick it up. Anderson didn't quite get it. I bet that goes.
I bet the big boy can play big-time ball in the other year or so, Frank.
26-23.
But you don't want to forget you have him.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep giving him to him.
Well, Duddle got a lot of confidence on that last trip down. Let's see how he performs. Lipnisky for 2. No. Rebound comes down to Steve Thompson. Outlet pass, and Duddle's going to come up with this one. Gordon Tech a little careless their last 2 or 3 trips down. Lipnisky. Oh, man. Are they going to call him for the charge? No. Or the block? Woo, big. That would have been a big play either way. He's already playing with 2 fouls, but he is not called for the charge. You call it at home, Coach.
Good call. The defender moved in under him. Good call.
Steve Thompson will try to get there in time, does he?
Moving.
No, he's moving. You're right. Great call. And that's why officials make all that money.
And it was a tough call to make.
There really was. Because this kid's so active anyway. Lipnisky for the tie.
He can just clutch it. He can just clutch it on his drive.
Lipnisky has 18 points. We've got 2:48 remaining in the first half. It's all tied up. Timeout for this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers. Mike Lipnisky may be the best guard we've seen so far in the tournament. Believe me, that is saying something. I don't even think I'd want to pick a 1, 2, or 3, but he's got to be on the payroll.
He and Jamie Brandon a little bit different in their styles. Jamie's the athlete that's so strong and has so many skills physically. But Lipnisky, as one of you pointed out earlier, you can tell this youngster spent a lot of time on a basketball court, not all of them inside, a lot of them outside.
Well, Brandon's inside so much, I almost count him as a guard forward center. I mean, he's just all over the court. Lipnisky is 8 of 12, gentlemen. Kleinschmidt triple team, so he knows what to do with it. Get it to Antoine Gillespie. There's some good-looking players out here tonight. Gordon Tech took the lead back with that last bucket. We've got 2:24 remaining here in the first half. McIntyre finds an open wing and makes him pay for it. They sent everybody to the left side and said, see what you can do over there. Anderson with a tough pass, and Gillespie couldn't handle it.
You don't like that kind of a turnover in the half-court situation. That wasn't transition turnover. That was just probably a bad judgment there.
I think that's exactly what Steve Pappas was just saying when we saw him on the TV there. Field goal wise, 45 and 46. Jumper, not this time. Rebound comes down. Oh, he made another bad pass, but he stepped out of bounds.
Duddle anticipated it twice.
Duddle's a little guy that's going for the Chris Allison Award down here since Chris couldn't make it. He's playing that role of the little guy all over the floor.
Chris Allison, for those who are not aware, is the fine guard for the Rock Island Rocks, who bowed out in the sectional stunner to Galesburg. Oh, what a save by Allen, but he saved it back to Rolling Meadows. And Lipnisky, with that good court sense, knew somebody was coming up from behind, so he pulled it up. Gets it over to Duddle. Duddle, does he want to get down in there? I don't think so. Charge it.
In the 1-3-1 zone defense.
That's 7 turnovers now for Rolling Meadows. He really had nowhere to go, Coach, but no. Easier said than done.
That's questionable. That's questionable there. Could have been a block. They've extended their 1-3-1 just a little bit, trying to trap.
Cross-court pass is broken up by Nicollet. And now we come the other way. As picking it up is Anderson. Racehorse, Gillespie, yes. Gordon Tech takes the lead again at 30-28. McIntyre, that's 3. And he hits the deck extra.
7 on the roll.
Gillespie's open again. He traveled with a basketball, though, and it won't count. So Rolling Meadows will keep the lead at 31-30.
Before you wink the points up in the lights, they're back on the other end. They love the baseball pass in Gordon Tech.
Well, as soon as the defender, as soon as the shot goes up by Rolling Meadows offensive ball player, that the defender for Gordon Tech is going to defend momentarily and then release.
Lipnisky with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Kleinschmidt 14 points, 7 rebounds. Nice back door. Lipnisky reverse.
When you overplay strongly, you're susceptible to that.
They turn it over in the backcourt. Jareem Anderson. You see that happen a lot. The guy looks like he's going to pass it. Somebody jumps in to pass the lane, and you're going, uh-oh, there's nowhere to go.
In this quarter, the turnovers have really plagued Gordon Tech.
He really has. And so is Lipnisky. He's up to 20 points already.
Duddle checks out, and Steve Thompson is in now with 40 seconds remaining.
9 turnovers by Gordon Tech. I suspect 4 of them this quarter.
That one's too hard. Rebound, 4 knocked out of bounds by Jason Lee, and will come the other way. Gordon Tech will have 32 seconds to see if they want a 3 or if they just want to get within 1. Think they'll hold?
I think they'll hold.
Puts in one of his ball-handling guards, Jason Bay, so they might be working it around here. Maybe they've already posted Kleinschmidt low.
Good trap here. Rolling Meadows put pressure on.
Kleinschmidt high post. He's all alone. Good defense, but a lot of body also. Steve Thompson got the ball, but Kleinschmidt's so strong he almost forces you to foul him.
Good move. Good move. You'll know the trap. Notice the trap pressure here by Gordon Tech, and then you get the big kid Kleinschmidt free in the middle. No place to go but right to the hole.
Ball first, body second. Kleinschmidt, who, as we said, has 14. Coming back into the ballgame, Jareem Anderson, and checking out is Jason Bay for the Texters.
Tom Kleinschmidt's been a little bit quiet, though, this quarter, has he not?
Yes, he has. But they've been breaking free on those transition baskets. Kleinschmidt misses the first.
Gordon Tech's gone man-to-man the entire game. Rolling Meadows used the 1-3-1 zone most of the game.
We've got a lane violation on someone. It's on Gordon Tech. Uh-oh. That that was on Keith Starr, who got in there too quick. That man right there, Steve Pappas, was on an NAIA championship team.
Yeah, he played against Jack Sickmud when he was at Grand Canyon.
13 seconds remain. In the corner, having difficulty is Thompson. He gets it out. Lipnisky's drive, and it's gone. 6 seconds remaining. Here comes Kleinschmidt. 2, 1. He'll fire. It is almost good. What a first half. Rolling Meadows leads Gordon Tech by 5. We'll be back after this from one of our network sponsors, True Value Hardware. This is the Country Company's halftime report, brought to you by the Country Companies. When it matters most, the country's behind you. 35-30, we find Gordon Tech behind right now. And one of the reasons, Brian McIntyre, this is called a put it up and roll back three-pointer.
Three-pointer, got tumbled, knocked down and tumbled, got a back roll there.
So we'll come back and take a look at the stats, but right now, let's go out to center court, where Art Kimball is standing by with a halftime guest.
Thank you very much, Jim, and we're with George Zigman, the head basketball coach at Arlington Heights Hersey. At least you were the head basketball coach, George. I hear you retired, is that right?
I retired. I was the head basketball coach till Lipnisky put me out of the business on Tuesday night.
You lost a 4-pointer to Rolling Meadows at Evanston, George, but this Lipnisky is a heck of a player, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Mike's been a kid that has been in their program since he's been a toddler, and he used to come up to northern Wisconsin at a camp that I worked in, and I saw Mike grow up, and lo and behold, I found out he was going to end my career.
Mike Lipnisky is the young man we're talking about. He's committed to Northern Illinois University and will play for old Glenbard West player Jim Molinari up there. George, what about your Hersey team? You made a whale of a run.
Well, my kids played some real excellent basketball at the end of the season. We thought we had a pretty good team. We had 2 kids that moved in this year, John Barnes from Maine West and Demetrius Kazuka from Maine East. And it took us a little while to gel, but after Christmas, we played some real good basketball and had a hell of a run at it. Yeah. And almost, well, we were actually, Art, we were 1 basket from being down here.
Well, no question about that. Okay, you've been coaching 24 years. If my recollection and records are correct. What's a guy going to do when he gets out of it? 24 years is a long time to spend at anything.
Well, I've been 24 years as a head coach. I've been in a game 35 and a half years. I served 11 and a half years of apprenticeship. But as a head man, I've been at Delavan 2 years, Arlington 16, and finishing 6 years at Hersey. It's been very gratifying.
George, what's the status of AA basketball in this state right now? Compared to when you started as a head coach, better talent?
Yes. I think kids are stronger. Art, they're much quicker. And they really shoot well, and they shoot well on the move. Yeah. Most of the old game kids were stationary shooters, but these kids can put the ball up anywhere, any place, and on the move, and have great body control.
What about Tom Kleinschmidt, just a junior for Gordon Tech? How's he impressed you?
He is an excellent player. This is the first time I've seen Tommy play. His father's worked a lot of basketball games for me, both at Arlington and
I was going to say, he's overcome being an official's kid, hasn't he?
That's right. And this is the first time I've seen him. I can see why a lot of people are very high on this young man.
George, thank you so much for the visit. Congratulations, not only for a great season, but a great career.
Thank you very much, Art. Appreciate it.
George Zigman, the head basketball coach, just retired at Arlington Heights Hersey. We'll be back after these messages.
Showdown in Champaign, and Rolling Meadows has rolled behind the scoring of Mike Lipnisky, who has 22 points at the half to our recollection, and we'll look it up. 41 points is the single game record by a gentleman named Marcus Liberty, who also plays on this very floor, although not anymore this year. You, Coach, are of the opinion that if you got a guy like Lipnisky who was killing you, put the boxer one on.
At halftime, you know, Gordon Tech has to consider that as a possibility. Here they have 35 points, Rolling Meadows at halftime. Lipnisky, one ball player's got 22. You got to be thinking of doing something else. He's just tough to guard all over the floor. And you think maybe of a boxing one, a junk defense that at least will keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible, because when he doesn't score, he assists very well.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers inside the numbers. 35-30 is what's up on the scoreboard. As far as the statistics are concerned, Rolling Meadows right around 50% from the field. Free throw wise, they've only been there 3 times. Gordon Tech not doing well from the free throw line right now, only 4 of 10. They'd like to improve that immensely. 3-point field goals, not much of a factor so far in this ball game. Rebounds dead even, as are turnovers, in the last 9 points of this first half scored by Rolling Meadows. And there you have it. They were down by 4, and now they're up by 5.
And Jim, the surprising stat there is Rolling Meadows, the smaller team, is leading in the rebound category.
That's exactly right. Taking a look at the individuals here. Lipnisky, as we said, with 22. McIntyre with 7. Duddle, who came in and had 2. Thompson with 2, and Nikolic with 2. As far as Gordon Tech is concerned, you're going to see Kleinschmidt up on top, but he didn't have a very productive second quarter, Coach.
He was quiet the second quarter. He started out very hot, but he quieted down, and it's another thing you might consider, is to get the ball in his hands more often.
Well, what we've got here is a very up and down, run it, score it kind of ball game. Transition from made baskets.
That's
a lot
exactly
of teams
right.
don't do that, but these 2 teams make the run off the made basket.
Well, Gordon Tech looks to throw deep and push the ball up the floor quickly. They've got to deal with the 1-3-1 zone defense that Rolling Meadows is applying. Rolling Meadows has shown a time or 2 that they'll come out and trap out of that, and that's when Kleinschmidt has to go to work inside to do the damage there.
Let's take a look at some of the damage done by the leading scorers from both teams. Number 32 is, of course, Mike Lipnisky. He's just got a great quick step.
Missed a shot, got his own rebound, and followed it up and in. As I said, he's all over the floor.
Changes hands going down the lane. He's something, man. He is under control. And you notice how he keeps his head up. You can see the floor no matter what. He's ready to pass off the bounce.
And his emotions are great. He's under control at all times.
There's Kleinschmidt with that block, which occurred earlier in the ball game, and now Kleinschmidt from outside the arc.
Very strong, excellent outside shooter, and very strong inside.
Well, he's 44% from the year. Here's that rebound that he picked up as far as the 3 points. He's 44% on the year, so he can do it all. And we'll have to see what kind of defensive strategy Steve Pappas comes up with here for the second half, because that will be the key. If Lipnisky cannot be stopped, then Kleinschmidt is going to have to kick it up another level. Let's see how it comes. But first, this from one of your network sponsors. Mr. Lipnisky keeps on his pace, and the highest game that Kleinschmidt has had scoring-wise this year is 42. To remind you again, Lipnisky has hit 54, and we said before we broke away that we thought maybe the single-game record was 41 by Marcus Liberty. That is the single-game record for a AA championship game. For games at Assembly Hall other than the championship game, the record is 44 by Greg Smith of East Aurora. That occurred during the 1972 semifinals against Quincy. So that's an 18-year-old record that Mr. Lipnisky is on path for.
On target for it.
Lipnisky takes the ball in and gets it knocked away from behind, but kicks it right back out to his mate. Jumper out front by Nikolic, but he fouled it home and doesn't get it to fall. But who's there to put it back in? Was that Jason Lee?
I believe so.
That was Jason Lee. I was screened out by the official. 37-30. Whoa, way outside. That's not got to pray.
That's shooting too soon. I think there's a turnover there. Just lost the ball.
Jason Bay takes it. They need it, but he won't get it to fall. And now we've got another turnover. Who wants it? Well, apparently, Gordon Tech will not get it because they touched it last. A wild way to start the second half as Antoine Gillespie was on all fours trying to gather that one in.
Tom Kleinschmidt has to relax a little bit and get into his game. You're not going to make these points up in the first couple of minutes. You just got to relax and get into a little bit of an offensive rhythm.
Lipnisky, speaking of rhythm, that's only a 2. His foot was on the line, but nonetheless, he has given Rolling Meadows a 10-point advantage, their biggest lead of the night, the biggest lead from either of these teams. Pass inside, knocked away, loose on the floor, picked up by Jason Lee.
Rolling Meadows staying in their 1-3-1 zone, and they picked off that pass with just good anticipation.
Another turnover as things still a little helter-skelter here. Oh, nice pass by Klein-Smith, who gets it down to Gillespie.
You saw the floor well. Gordon Tech is staying in their man-to-man defense and picking him up all over the floor. No defensive change by either team.
See how McIntyre handles it, Frank.
Tech's got a long bench, and that's one of the reasons that happened.
Klein-Smith with a steal, and then they said he turned it over. I think we were in for a monster net sweeping there had that call not been made.
Good overplay by Tom Kleinschmidt. Got the steal, did turn it over, carried the ball as he was going for it. Watch him here, just good overplay, gets out in the passing lane for the steal.
Lipnisky is one on everybody.
Lipnisky is a one-man wrecking crew, fellas.
He now has 26 points. The record again for a single game, 44. Fouled out front is Kleinschmidt. And this is very crucial 3 to 4 minute period now for Gordon Tech. Remember, this is a ball club that has won 25 games in a row. They are not used to being down by 10.
Well, you can tell that in their play. You know, this is not a negative comment because I'm sure that young Kleinschmidt wants to bring his ball club back, but he's trying to do too many things too quickly.
Kleinschmidt, nice pass, inside it goes, and Hobson couldn't get it to fall, but back with it is Allen, and he gets it blocked out of bounds. Well, they had a golden opportunity that time, but it wasn't to be. Kleinschmidt is very good at penetrating, and if he doesn't have the shot, he'll get it to the guy who does. On his way up that time, Hobson was fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Just a out of bounds play with a little lob. Nice pass from Kleinschmidt.
Hobson is no little specimen himself. He's 215, standing at 6'5".
Gordon Tech can demonstrate they can put points on the board quickly with their transition game, and they can continue to push the ball and look for that. But when they're forcing it into a half court, they probably should be a little bit more patient. There's a lot of time in this ball game. You don't want to hurry.
I don't know why I get this feeling. We've got a couple of runs yet to go in this one. Hobson is not a good free throw shooter. You might have noticed that from that release. Steve Pappas looking on. The hardest thing sometimes when you're a coach and a former good player is sitting there watching other people try to do what you want them to do instead of going out there and being able to do it yourself. Nice rebound by Allen, but he couldn't get it to fall. Gets it back and couldn't get it to fall again. Klein-Smith will go to the free throw line. Well,
Gordon Tech is just having a horrible experience right now with even the bunny shot, the triple, as they say. It just won't fall for them.
We expected Gordon Tech at the outset to have a bit of a rebounding advantage, but they did not at the half. But they are asserting themselves there now.
He struggled early from the free throw line. I think he missed 2 in that first half.
Nice rotation. Too hard, though. Yeah, Klein-Smith is not on his free throws, that's for sure. Came in shooting 75%. Ooh, almost turned it over. McIntyre makes a dangerous pass, and I'll be darned if Lipnisky wasn't there to put it in. The only thing that happened there was the pass was a little too late because the defender ran by before the pass got there.
That's that overplay, that man-to-man overplay.
Down low to Gillespie. He can't get it, but the rebound is up and in by Bernard Hobson.
Lipnisky has 28, but 28 of 43.
It's got to be a great feeling to work your way down here and then have that kind of game. Because everybody's got their eyes on you anyway.
And oftentimes there's so much pressure.
McIntyre misses everything. Lipnisky makes a nice save, but unfortunately it's to Brian Allen for Gordon Tech, who's on the move. Klein-Smith comes up with it. He'll go up with it and score. Big play.
Big play. That might be the basket that can loosen Gordon Tech up a little bit because it's an old-fashioned 3 they're looking at right now.
The pass by Allen was not on the money. It was slapped away by Nikolic, but off the board, fortunately, for Gordon Tech. And when you're a great player like that kid is, you're on the spot.
Interestingly enough, great players always seem to be at the right spot.
Yeah, some say, oh, you're lucky. No, it's not lucky when you're there too many times. He can't get the 3. He's still off from the free throw line, and right now it's a mental game inside Klein-Smith's head from the free throw line because he's a much better free throw shooter than that. Lipnisky, as we said, with 28 points, folks, and we've still got a quarter and 4.5 minutes left to play. Uh-oh. I thought maybe they were setting him up one-on-one, but Kleinsmith with good defense, and he'll bring it up. Oh, look at this ball movement. All the way down. Kleinsmith that's knocked out of bounds. I'll say one thing for Nikolic. He's having a tough game offensively, but he's on the spot defensively, slapping passes away.
Yeah, he's worked hard on defense, and he's got a big kid he's got to deal with inside there. Look for the out-of-bounds play again. The last time was allowed. This time they're going outside. And back in.
And a foul, as you might suspect, with 3 purple jerseys around Kleinschmidt. And that is 5 team fouls now on Rolling Meadows. And that is 3 fouls on Brian McIntyre.
Kleinschmidt's a 75% free throw shooter on the year.
Jason Lee also with 3 fouls for Rolling Meadows. All the other starters with 2, so that might come into play before this one's over. Boy, Kleinsmith just can't buy a free throw. If he's shooting his free throws like he usually does, and I hate to harp on it, we've got a tie ball game. See what they do with Lipnisky. He gets it over. Thompson makes him pay. Steve Thompson, 6'1" senior. Here we go the other way. Gillespie will have to pull up. Good transition defense that time. Very good. Rolling Meadows. Jumper out front. Oh, man. Tom Kleinschmidt.
Not having any trouble with this perimeter game, just the free throw line.
Kleinschmidt's up to 19.
Lipnisky, he couldn't hit again, could he? Not this time. That was a little short. He rushed his shot. Kleinschmidt with the rebound. Bay almost turned it over on the way up. Jumper the other way. It's good by Keith Starr.
Those ball clubs, not only do they look for the transition layup, they'll take the transition perimeter shot right now.
Starr, who doesn't shoot a lot, hits his first 2 of the night. He's averaging only 7. We got a game again. 4-point lead for the team with the basketball. Lipnisky almost lost it. He's in the corner. He's looking for help. And he gets it to McIntyre, who has to throw it away to Kleinsmith. And look out now. Steve Thompson did his best to get in his way. He avoided having a slam in his face, but still, Kleinsmith got it to fall, and they're coming the other way again.
That was a heady play by Kleinschmidt. He didn't force the stuff. He was running out of legs, and he felt the defense there, and he did the smart thing. He just laid it over and in. We got a ball game, fellas.
45-43 our score. Rolling Meadows has seen their lead diminish in a hurry, and at the line to make it go away altogether is Antoine Gillespie. Checking in Jareem Anderson. Checking out Brian Allen.
You know, it's a credit to the conditioning of the Gordon Tech ball club, especially a young man like Kleinschmidt, who hasn't seen any bench time that can go at that tempo for 32 minutes.
Gordon Tech misses the free throw. Kleinschmidt can't get it to go. Rebound up and in by Starr. We've got a tie ball game. Well, Keith Starr has come alive, a 6'5" senior with 2 big buckets. The last 2 for Gordon Tech, and it's tied at 45.
Jim, I think the statistics this 3rd quarter will bear the fact that the Gordon Tech ball club has dominated the boards.
They're missing their free throws, but Kleinsmith rebounded that one. Couldn't get it to fall, but good position for Keith Starr.
Really done a number on the offensive board this quarter.
I'm sure Mr. Pappas pounded that into the psyches at halftime. Gordon Tech still can't hit free throws. I don't know what they are for the game. We'll check that out, but they are not proficient whatsoever from the charity stripe. Tuttle out front, and we've got a foul as he penetrates.
Tuttle may have been a little bit out of control, but nonetheless got the foul.
Timeout on the floor. It's all tied up in this quarterfinal game between Rolling Meadows and Gordon Tech. A message now from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers, to do their thing. And right now, Gordon Tech is doing anything but their thing at the free throw line. They came in shooting 65%, which is not great, but still it's okay. They are 5 of 18 from the charity stripe. That's 13 misses. And you look up there and you see 45-45 to score.
And if you lose, if you're Gordon Tech and lose, that's the thing you'll bemoan, those free throws.
Lipnisky wears number 32. You're probably aware of that if you have been with us at all tonight. Just joining us, we've got a tie ball game. Duddle gets 2 people in the air. Lipnisky backs it back out. Allen with good defense, but make it Gillespie with a personal foul.
You know, if you don't go a bouncing one on a Lipnisky, you certainly got to double team him when he starts to penetrate. He's just too much right now for Gillespie to handle.
That's why Pappas is taking out and rotating Gillespie. Sometimes he puts him on Lipnisky. Sometimes he puts Brian Allen. It's just a lot of work to try to defend it.
Watch his ball handling. He's exceptional.
Pulls up, gets it blocked out of bounds by Kleinschmidt. Well, the 2 big guys met head-on along the baseline that time. Now there's an old-fashioned basketball haircut.
Now if you got a great shooter like Lipnisky right here, you look for something to come back to him after. There you go.
Oh, inbounds pass gets away. Gillespie cross court to Kleinschmidt. Does a 360, gets it blocked by Lipnisky. Kleinschmidt, though, is fouled by Lipnisky on his way back up. Well, they've gone head-to-head now on 2 straight trips, and that is foul number 3 on Lipnisky.
That inbounds play down there wasn't designed for Lipnisky to come right back around and maybe get the 3-point attempt, but the errant pass caused the transition gain to the other end for Gordon Tech.
Well, let's see how the head game is progressing at the free throw line, because right now that's all it is. They don't know the exact numbers, but they know they're missing. That'll put an end to it for now.
And you said it exactly right, the head game, because, Jim, that's exactly what it becomes. The youngster just has to go there and do the same thing he's done throughout the year, the same repetitious thing.
Kleinschmidt is still not hot from the line. 2 of 9, but I was there. That was just a tough one to come in and out. Lipnisky the other way looking for his ball. Nice pass. Nicola gets it blocked, though, by Kleinschmidt. Duddle the other way. Lipnisky loses it on his way up and is fortunate enough to draw the foul because he really wasn't in control that time. Pappas of Gordon Tech looking on. As this kid, look at that pass.
I'm really impressed, Jim, with the quickness of the big kid, Tom Kleinschmidt. He's going to get a little break here. So that's a wise move.
He may set out the rest of this 3rd quarter with only 2:05 remaining. The tempo has really picked up here defensively in the last couple of minutes. Whoa, wait a minute. Stop the presses. Lipnisky missed something. Boy, what a play.
There's a crack in his armor, huh?
Well, no matter how many March Madnesses you take part in, you see the greatness of it all, and you also realize that everybody's human. Everybody makes that mistake occasionally. Pass down low. It's not going to be anywhere near the basket. Is coming out of there with it is Rolling Meadows. Look out now. Look at that body control.
He runs the floor extremely well. Got out, filled his lane. Things will happen when you do that.
Meadows up on top again by the 2. Nice pass underneath Gillespie, and we're tied again. Nice pass out front by Keith Starr. Lipnisky with the basketball has 31 points. He's trying for 34. In and out. Jason Bay looking for someone over there on the wing, and he finally finds Anderson. Starr, will he get it? In and out. Rebound Lipnisky. He's just a complete player.
I'm not too sure he doesn't need a little bit of bench time just to get a breath here.
Duddle for 3. He won't get the roll. Rebound comes down nicely to Jareem Anderson. We are under a minute now at 58 seconds. Bay, Gillespie. Gillespie again.
The youngster stayed with it and got it to drop. Gordon Tech's playing even, in fact, staying ahead with their big kid on the bench.
Lipnisky with a move. That is a pretty shot.
Points number 32 and 33.
And don't forget Gillespie, folks. He's kind of lost in the shuffle here, but he has 16 as well for Gordon Tech, and let's see what they want to do. They're big guys on the bench, just taking a rest. 22 seconds left, and it's fairly evident now. They'll wait for the last shot. We're tied at 50 all. Down low it goes. Gillespie. Reverse won't go. And contact and a foul on Gillespie. Instead of having a 2-point lead, Rolling Meadows will get a chance to take the lead. That's the shot they wanted.
That's exactly the shot. Maybe they got it a little bit too soon with 7 seconds still left. They post up, get inside, got the good shot.
You've got to take that shot no matter if there's 8 seconds or 9, but he just couldn't get enough on it. Not yet in the bonus, so Rolling Meadows will take it out. Bad pass. It's heading our way. Out of bounds. Well, they still have the basketball back.
Maybe inbounded underneath the basket. Wasn't touched by anybody, Jim.
They should inbound it underneath the basket. That's correct. No, Frank Pisoni was the first man to touch it.
Excellent opportunity here for Gordon Tech to score with 7 seconds.
Kleinschmidt back in, and he is inbounded. He does so to Allen. Back to you-know-who. Kleinschmidt, body English. And that's the way the third quarter will come to a close, with Gordon Tech taking back the lead in a great quarterfinal game at the Assembly Hall. Let's take time for this. For one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware.
New from the Trib, Preps Plus. Big league coverage of your community.
Unless, of course, this goes into OT, we have 8 minutes left of this one, followed by the Quincy Blue Devils and the Chicago Heights Blue Trojans in what should be another dandy. Frank Pisoni standing by to call that action for you. Right now, it's 52-50, and just when Gordon Tech looked like somebody took the air out of them, back they come. Lipnisky with 33 points. Remember, the Assembly Hall record for AA is 44. McIntyre with 7 for the Mustangs. And that 1-2 combination of Kleinschmidt and Gillespie totaling 40 points.
Rolling Meadows extending their 1-3-1 with a little pressure trap.
Driving is Allen. He dishes it off nicely to Starr.
Nice move by Allen. That's what you have to do against trap pressure. You got to penetrate the seam and look to dump it off.
So Tech with a 4-point lead. At the end of one quarter, Tech led it by 3. Nice pass to Duddle. He needs that one and gets it. Give Lipnisky the assist.
Gordon Tech has stayed with that man-to-man the entire ball game.
Lipnisky used the left hand and still jammed it across the legs. Kleinschmidt does a little spin move. Tough pass to Starr.
Well, that's a good observation, that man-to-man all game long. But one coach said you can still play a zone and get to heaven.
That's right. You sure can. I think what impressed you is that the ability of Kleinschmidt to go 32 minutes.
Duddle having problems out front, gets rid of it to Lipnisky. Lipnisky is one-on-one working against Allen. Now the ball is in the hands of Gordon Tech. Uh-oh, this looks like trouble. Too hard, though, and rebounding it nicely is Nikolic. Zoran Nikolic, the 6'3 junior for Coach Dave Brown. I'll tell you one thing, no matter how it turns out, some folks are going to remember Rolling Meadows' first appearance at the Assembly Hall. They have played a whale of a game, as has Gordon Tech. Lipnisky's going to create something, but it won't fall in. Kleinschmidt comes out of there with it.
Also, no matter how it turns out, we're going to miss seeing one of these youngsters tomorrow afternoon.
Bay the other way. And he made a beautiful pass, but Shareem Anderson, I think he might have been thinking rebound, but he was not ready to accept the pass, and it rolled right between his legs.
I think what happened, Jim, he was surprised that it was a bounce pass. He was expecting a pass maybe chest high. Both ball clubs now in the bonus, so the free throw could be a big factor down the line, and Gordon Tech has struggled from the line all evening.
We have some confusion on the court now as to who is going to guard whom for Gordon Tech as Shareem Anderson checks out.
Maybe no one wants to guard Lipnisky.
Who, me?
You got 32.
Bruce Duddle did a nice job there of not getting a turnover. Lipnisky is fouled by Starr.
That's just heady offensive basketball play. He went up, he knew he couldn't get the shot off, double clutched it, drew the foul.
I'll tell you, you're right, but you made an observation about Lipnisky about a couple of minutes ago about him being a little worn, and he is a little tired, but you can't pull him now with 6 minutes left in the game.
It's crunch time now. And he's down. His ball club's trailing by 4.
Lipnisky, 88% on the year from the line.
He had 3 threes in 61 seconds in the Super when they needed it.
After watching him this ball game, that's not hard to believe.
Lipnisky with 35 points. His team trails by 2. Quincy and Bloom to follow. Alley-oop pass down low to Gillespie. Nicely done. Klein-Smith with the assist.
Gordon Tech's done that a couple times to the backside of that 1-3-1 zone. You'll notice who's back there. It's Duddle, the smaller guy, and they're lobbing over and taking advantage of that. That's the second time they've done that and scored.
Well, we had to get rid of it before the call, and he finally did, and it was knocked out of bounds by Klein-Smith, who just was there a step later. Otherwise, he would have had the steal. McIntyre now will check back in. Brian McIntyre, who had 4 fouls, is back in. He still has 4 fouls. Tough shot. It'll go out of bounds. Well, I don't think Steve Thompson really wanted to get airborne, but once he was up there, he had to see if he could find the angle, and that angle could not be found.
Rolling Meadows made a defensive change, a little bit better, bigger size now on the backside of their 1-3-1 zone.
Stewart didn't want it. Klein-Smith does want it, but it's a little too short. Ball is fought for, and McIntyre comes out of there with it. Quickly the other way to Lipnisky. Lipnisky, goes through 2 people. Look at this shot. It'll go. It won't count. It won't count. He was fouled before he could get it up there, but
It'll count next year at Northern Illinois University because in the college play, they'll give that continuation there.
That's the 3rd time Lipnisky's made a goal in this game that was waved off by a caller of it.
Right away, as soon as it started, there were 2.
Brian Allen picked up that personal foul. That's his 3rd. Good free throw shooters make bad free throws. They give bad free throw shooters a bad name, don't they? Because they make it look so easy, and then you get somebody else up there, and it looks so darn difficult.
He's now 7 points away from tying that Assembly Hall State Tournament final record.
Greg Smith, Aurora East, 44.
Long jumper by Allen won't go, but Klein-Smith's there with a big rebound and not a big shot, though. Rebound Gillespie. Klein-Smith, though, kept it alive.
Gillespie's been a silent factor out here. He's played a super ball game.
20 points. Klein-Smith almost came up with the steal, but Lipnisky was able to wiggle away from him, and now he spots Thompson open for the jumper.
Sees the floor extremely well.
You know, this is the kind of game I don't want to end. You know, these guys could go for another hour as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure they get tired, but they're playing such good basketball, spotting the open man. And when you've got a couple of scores out there like we do. Klein-Smith, head fake, puts it up, hits it. He's got 26.
Nice patience that time by Gordon Tech.
Now time becoming a factor. 4 minutes remaining in this one. Rolling Meadows has a pass go out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by Art Stewart.
Lipnisky is tired. He is tired. Watch now to see if there's some specialty, some design here to get the ball back into his hand. He's a trigger man.
The Rolling Meadows still has 4 timeouts. Jason Lee with a nice move to the basket. Big play. Again, we're back to a 2-point encounter, and again, the team with the basketball has the lead. Far corner. Allen doesn't want it. Jason Bay doesn't see anywhere to penetrate. Now he does. Gets it baseline to Allen.
Good move by Bay. He penetrated the seam of the 1-3-1 Rolling Meadows zone, dished off to the baseline for the jumper. What you have to do against that zone is you got to get in that seam.
Allen made a good decision, too.
Backdoor Lipnisky, no. And Lipnisky did not want to pick up that foul, and here comes Gordon Tech with a chance to lead by 6. Bay, nice pass. Gillespie, yes.
Timeout. They need a timeout right now.
Gillespie causes the timeout for Rolling Meadows. It's a 6-point lead. We've got 3:06 left. Let us pause for these messages. It's both. There's a Gordon Tech fan who's very happy, up by 6. And here's how they did it on that last pass down the floor. Good cross-court pass to Bay, who returns the favor to Gillespie.
Bay's had 2 nifty assists down here in the latter parts of this fourth quarter. Good timeout, Jim, by Coach Brown of Rolling Meadows. They needed to break the run that Gordon Tech was having, and they needed to give Lipnisky some time on the bench.
For 3. No. Rebound. Rolling Meadows needs it and gets it as Thompson saves it, but they throw it in to Thompson too quickly because he was coming back inbounds, and he still was not on the floor.
Good call by referee John Hornacek.
Dave Brown shouting out some defensive instructions to his team. There's a big trip down because if you get down by 8.
Rolling Meadows bringing their 1-3-1 trap pressure out now a little bit.
And look at Kleinsmith, he's out there running.
Well, you know, it's great for a coach to have a youngster like that that can look over that trap.
Allen slices through trouble. Gillespie, as we said, a great game.
When you get in this situation, Gordon Tech needs to take care of the ball, but they yet need to attack the basket, not play sideline.
Inside to Starr, who loses the basketball. Thompson's away with it. Oh, he turned it over, but nothing was called. So that's not a turnover.
That's right.
Kleinsmith gets it up ahead. Here's Allen. Allen alone. And now Rolling Meadows got problems. They've got problems.
They've also got Lipnisky.
Lipnisky goes through everybody, gets it taken away. It's over to Thompson. They needed it. They got it. 6-point ball game. 68-62 a minute. 40 left, as you can see. Ooh, almost stolen away by McIntyre. They really don't want to get caught up here in the corner on the pinch press. Timeout on the floor. Let's see how it comes out when we come back. First, this from one of your network sponsors, Country Company. Right now, Mr. Lipnisky is not concerned with the Assembly Hall scoring record, which he is 7 points away from tying. Right now, he and his mates from Rolling Meadows are concerned about the score. One thing in their favor, Coach, if you have to put Gordon Tech at the free throw line, this might be the night to do it.
Well, that's true, as demonstrated by the trouble that Gordon Tech has had at the line. Here's your scoring leaders. Lipnisky has been silent for maybe the last couple of minutes. He was at that 37 some time ago, and of course Kleinsmith has really played well lately.
Gillespie with 22. Ooh, almost an over and back, and it was.
Good call.
And you know what gave it away? Kleinsmith looked at his feet. I don't think the official really saw it at first, and then Kleinsmith went, oh, I think this toe's over the line.
You got to look for turnover. You got to look for Rolling Meadows to set a lot of picks for Lipnisky right here for the threes. You got to start going to threes right now.
Thompson gets it slapped away. It's loose on the floor. Allen has it. Who wants it? It is Gordon Tech's basketball. Big play. Big play.
Gordon Tech's out of their zone, of course. They're matched up man for man all over the floor with Gordon Tech.
They release Allen, and he gets not the layup, but the rebound won't go either. Starr missed it. Boy, that could prove crucial.
Remember that play.
Let's see what Lipnisky wants to do. Meadows needs the bucket. Lee will drive and score. They just let him go in there.
For much of the season in key games, Kleinsmith has owned the late part of the game for Gordon Tech.
Good pass to Starr off the glass, and he made up for the last-minute basket.
Lipnisky needs not to have the ball initially. He needs to be the off guard to come and get the ball.
Three-pointer, will it go? You bet it will. And now we've got a three-point ball game, 50 seconds remaining, and a timeout on the floor. Let's pause for these messages. Rolling Meadows, thanks to a 9-point run before the half, leading at 35-30. After 3 quarters, Tech was back up by 2, 52-50, and right now with 50 seconds left, Tech leads at 70-67. Lipnisky has just hit a three-pointer to make it 40 points on the night for him, and now Gordon Tech needs to control the basketball, and most importantly, if they don't shake free for a layup or an easy jump shot, make the free throws. And heading there now will be Jason Bay, who is only a 52% free throw shooter. And even if he just makes one, you're going to have a couple of trips down. As you can see, the free throw is not a figure that Gordon Tech wants to look back on this evening. 30%. Rolling Meadows just hasn't been there.
He hasn't been there a lot. And that's interestingly as active as Lipnisky is that he hasn't been to the free throw line.
As a matter of fact, funny you should mention that. Lipnisky is the only person on the team to have shot a free throw.
Yeah, but he should be there a lot, you would think.
to have shot. There is no such word as shot, I don't believe. Schottenheimer, that's a coach, isn't it? Big free throw again. He doesn't get this one. Rebound. Gillespie's got it. Gordon Tech will go to the free throw line again. How many times do you see that? Timeout on the floor. Gordon Tech has things going their way. They do have a timeout, but we'll keep it right here. 71-67. You know, you think that that's a very hard thing to do, is to get a rebound when your team's shooting it, but you see it time and time again.
Well, you do. You know, in that situation, you don't want to foul. The offensive team doesn't want to foul and go over the back, but right now, time is of the essence, and they've got to go to the offensive board, be it a free throw or a field goal.
Something else that's difficult to do in these situations that people take for granted is getting the ball in bounds, because the team behind is going to extend the pressure now on the full court, and you have to take good care of the ball. Now, Kleinschmidt has been coming back at 6'5" and a 200-pounder helping, but that's not anything you can take for granted here, and you can be sure that Rolling Meadows knows who they want to foul.
The big thing is Rolling Meadows going to overplay in the passing lane, so that means that Gordon Tech, in taking care of the ball, also has to continue to look at their basket and attack it.
The semifinals will come your way tomorrow on this IHSA network. East St. Louis Lincoln, standing at 20-8, will take on Chicago King, who hasn't lost a game since they lost to East St. Louis Lincoln last year right here in the semifinals. They are 30-0. We will join you at 11, and then, of course, the winner of this game takes on either Quincy or Chicago Heights Bloom.
What's the attitude here that Gordon Tech takes? Inbound to score immediately, or inbound to take care of the ball?
Inbound to take care of the ball. Again, that was not a foul. Gillespie did call timeout before he was fouled. They took it away from Kleinschmidt, but they managed to maintain possession. Man, he was triple teamed, and that was good fortune on the part of the Rams.
It was, but he did penetrate with the ball, attack the basket. You got to give him credit for that.
Gillespie, better hurry, calls the timeout.
Good heady play by Gillespie.
They now have 2 timeouts left, do the Rams. Only 1 left for Rolling Meadows.
Rolling Meadows is going to have to foul and foul immediately. It's getting to that stage of the game.
This game has been up and down. Rolling Meadows, of course, took that double-digit lead in the 3rd quarter, but Gordon Tech came roaring on back. And don't forget, Jerry Leggett and his last Quincy stand against Frank Nardi and Chicago Heights Bloom. The Trojans led by Brandon Cole, and if you have not seen Brandon Cole, well, you'll see one of the more unique three-point shooters in all of America, because that line doesn't mean anything to him. I mean, he makes his own lines up.
I think the only rule that Frank Nardi gives him, he's got to be in bounds.
Let's go inside that Gordon Tech huddle. Well, now they're going to break it up. I'm sure Steve was just saying 2 things. Protect the ball, make the free throws. You see, at some point in time, most of the coaching is done during practice, and at this point in time, everybody knows what they have to do.
You want the ball in the hands of the accomplished ball players, the kids that have taken care of it all year, and I'm sure that's Kleinschmidt in this situation.
Well, Kleinschmidt will inbound. They'll probably try to, well, he spots somebody inside, ball is kicked away, so they'll do it again. 26.5 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarterfinal game. Timeouts, 2 for Gordon Tech, just 1 for Rolling Meadows. They better hurry, and they get it into Bay. Bay will eat up some time out front. Yeah, that's what all they're going to do, is they're going to force the foul, and the foul will come now. As Kareem Anderson will go to the free throw line. A 53% free throw shooter. They've got to hope, they being Rolling Meadows, that this free throw is missed and they can get down in a hurry.
Well, and with a great three-point shooter in Lipnisky, you know, the game is right there to be had if they can rebound a missed free throw shot. They've got the 1 timeout left. That could figure in very big at this point in time, because now's the time when you score, you need that timeout immediately to set your defense.
Anderson, just a junior. Too hard. Rebound comes down to Gillespie again. He has sealed Rolling Meadows' fate, I do believe, with 2 key rebounds off of missed free throws. And that man that young man, Mr. Lipnisky, has to be a little dejected because he may be experiencing his last 14 and a half seconds of high school basketball, but not his last basketball by a long shot.
Jim, and that's what's so frustrating for the team that's trying to come from behind. Rolling Meadows, they're playing hard defense. They foul the person they want to. That person misses the free throw, and they don't secure the rebound.
And Gillespie is a good free throw shooter. And now they would need 2 3-pointers to win, and those would have to rain from the sky in about 14 seconds. What a game Antoine has had.
If you're Garden Tech, you're screaming, don't foul, pressure the three-point area, but don't foul.
The shot is by Thompson, and it misses everything. I'm sure they wanted to get it to Lipnisky, but he wasn't anywhere to be found. So this game will more than likely go to Gordon Tech. Kleinschmidt inbounds it to Gillespie, and fittingly so, he should shoot some more free throws because he had a key role in this last minute and a half.
You know, we should comment about Gillespie, too. He has had an outstanding ball game. Much of our attention has been with the 2 super shooters, the Tom Kleinschmidt of Gordon Tech and Mike Lipnisky of the Rolling Meadows. But the play of Gillespie has been outstanding.
And a lot of Gillespie's baskets have come off the transition when he's broken free down at the other end or off the rebound.
No accident. 16-point scorer and had 27 twice in other games, so his 23 here is no accident.
Jason Lee, you see there, a dejected Mustang as he is fouled out of this encounter, and Jason Lee will be back next year for Coach Dave Brown. He's only a junior.
Lipnisky needs to be fouled with a successful three-point attempt and convert in the next 6.5 seconds to tie that Assembly Hall record.
That won't go. Rebound comes down. Brian Anderson in the ball game to Lipnisky, who has problems with it, and this one is over. I'll be darned, he made it anyway. He made it anyway. Man, what a player that guy is. Lipnisky just threw it up, and that was a disgust shot. He was disgusted that his team had lost, and he's money. He is money.
The Gordon Tech ball players are all over Lipnisky, congratulating him on one fine effort here at the Assembly Hall and a losing effort.
43 points for Lipnisky, but the big number up there for Gordon Tech is 72 as opposed to Rolling Meadows 70, and you'll see how Mr. Lipnisky came within 1 point of tying the all-time tournament record. Look at that. Man, shooters roll, shooters touch, shooters luck. Game 4 is coming up. Let's take time out for this from the IHSA.